Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about how to protect your mental health during the pandemic. This COVID-19 pandemic has been brutal on the state of American health, of mental health of Americans and people all over the country, actually. We've been limited in how we can celebrate birthdays and graduations and weddings. And I have to say, I've seen some pretty creative stuff. Some of us have seen loved ones hooked up to a ventilator, fighting for their lives. And we've got an entire hygienic routine every time we leave the house, wear a mask, right? Stay 6 feet apart, wash your hands, and repeat, right? So I have some ideas about what you can do to help protect your mental health during this ongoing pandemic. So the first one is get some exercise. You don't have to go to the gym to stay in shape. There's plenty of exercises and routines that you can do from the comfort of your own living room. You can do things like push-ups or jumping jacks or walking in place or even going for a nice jog around the block. On top of building your endurance and strength, exercise can trigger the release of endorphins in your system. According to the Mayo Clinic, these are known as feel-good hormone, the endorphins are, and they'll naturally boost your low mood during such trying times. The next one, stay in contact with loved ones. Not being able to meet in person with those we care about can be detrimental to your mental health. I'm really missing hugs, right? I'm a hugger, and I have not had as many as I would like in the last 6 months. So prolonged loneliness and social isolation can increase your risk of certain mental health disorders. Substance abuse. People are drinking more. People are smoking more, right? And they even are saying that suicide rates are up. In fact, I was reading an article from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, which states that loneliness in older adults increases the risk of dementia and other serious health disorders. So the best way to avoid these consequences is stay in touch with loved ones daily, if possible, or weekly, by phone calls, video calls, text messages. Just stay in touch, right? Leave the house. Most states still have limitations when it comes to where you can go, what you can do, and who you can see. And yet, at this point in the pandemic, you realize that your mood declines and you feel fatigued the longer you stay put in the house, right? So I was reading that vitamin D, which can be absorbed by the body from sunlight, is a great mood booster and actually is used to treat depression. So if you're feeling down and lonely in the house, spend some time in the backyard or go for a walk in the park before the crowds get there. Hi, Karima, good to see you. But please, you guys, the pandemic is still going on, so please stay safe and stay away from large crowds. I've lost quite a few people that I know to this damn virus, and I don't want to lose you next. If you really feel you need help, reach out to a therapist. If you're already struggling with mental health prior to the pandemic, there's a good chance that your situation has actually probably gotten worse, especially the longer this continues. My gosh, it's been 6 months already, and I don't see any sign that it's going to go away soon. So luckily, the forced closure of most mental health facilities doesn't mean that you can't have access to care. So many counselors, therapists, and psychiatrists have moved to telemedicine for the time being. So you can still schedule an appointment with a therapist by video call, and it's a great way to process your emotions and learn how to cope. So if you're struggling, please reach out to a therapist. Do a worry drop. A worry drop. Have you ever heard of that? Write down all of your fears in a journal until your anxiety has dropped by half. Just keep writing down, what am I afraid of? What's the worst thing that could happen, right? Until you get it all out of your head and onto paper. And it actually will make you feel better. And then make a daily list of what's going well. And remember the things that are going well. Despite the current situation, I know things suck, right? But maybe you're able to spend more time with your kids, or maybe you're able to read a book that you've been meaning to, or learning how to cook, or you've picked up a new hobby that you're starting to love, right? Take breaks from the news. After a certain point, it can be more upsetting than informational. I'm one of those people that needs to know what's going on. And Richard and I have been like glued to the news every night. But we were watching a lot of news. And then basically, though, we started cutting that in half. Instead of Instead of watching the news all night, we're binge watching Lucifer on Netflix. And that is, I love that show. Oh my gosh. But it's also a great way to lighten things up and not be so obsessed with the news. Yeah, we still watch the news, but then we watch Lucifer because it's like get our mind off of everything, right? But make sure that the information that you do get is from reputable and non-sensationalist sources, right? Evaluate how much news is helpful for you to consume in a day, and then try to stick to that limit. Don't try not to let yourself get sucked in, right? It can be upsetting to hear about crisis and see images repeatedly over and over again. Try to do some other activities that you enjoy to return some normalcy back to what your life is, at least as much as possible. Make time to unwind and remind yourself that these strong feelings will fade. Things are going to get better at some point. Don't know when, but they will get better and we will get through it. We always do. We just have to hang in there, right? During the pandemic that doesn't seem to be ending anytime soon, it's important that you prioritize your mental health. Not only will this make you feel less lonely and like you have a greater purpose, but it's also going to save you from a ton of emotional turmoil that you're going to have to sort through once COVID is gone, right? Because you got to deal with it now or you got to deal with it later. So why not do it now, right? So, hi, Anitra. Good afternoon. And Krima says the news has become so depressing. I know. I totally get what you're saying. And you know, it's like I want to watch it. I want to watch it. Well, I don't watch it all day because I'm busy working, but it's like at night I turn it on, I want to watch it, and it's like I'm mesmerized by it because I keep hoping they're going to say something good, but they never do. So, you know, I mean, for us, Lucifer, oh my gosh, it's like the whole opposite end of it, but it's on Netflix, you guys. If you haven't started watching that, it is amazing. Anyway, so now I'd love to hear from you. Are you one of those that's addicted to the news, or are you barely aware of what's going on? Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle, right? What kinds of things are helping you to protect your mental health during this crazy pandemic? Please get down and share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear your stories. Thank you, Krima and Anitra, for being live with me today. Anitra says she's been watching the Twilight series. Awesome. I haven't seen that. But thank you guys for being live with me today. And anyone else who might be live who just hasn't commented, and anyone who's watching the replay, I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.